Good morning, good evening, Mr. X's class. We're talking today about the word bond, which is the word for, actually forgot to change the date, it's Thursday, January 7th. So bond has three main meanings, plus there's a word family meaning, which is three main meanings on the card, which are noun meanings, plus there's one meaning with a verb. And a bond, as a noun, one meaning is something that forms a connection between people or groups. So you can talk about your bond with your friends, your bond with your family. So what connects groups of people? Bonds, connections between people. So such as, it could be a feeling of friendship or shared experiences or ideas. So you could say, I have very strong bonds with my family, with my friends. That would be an example of that. And then, put that as an example sentence. And then the second is has to do with like economics. So this is, if you're studying economics, this is it's a way to invest your money. So have you guys heard of stocks, acciones? So there are basically two big ways that people invest in companies: stocks or bonds. So bonds, I think in Spanish bonos. It's number two. It's an agreement by often a company, but it can also be a government, to pay you interest on money. So what it is basically a bond is you give money to the company. Lots of people, individual people, give money to the company. And then the company says, so it's basically like, and then the company says they'll pay you back with interest. So it's almost like you're the bank. If you think about what a bank does, right? A bank loans you money, you have to pay back to the bank. The bond is the opposite. You give money to a company, they pay you back. Or you give money to the government, they pay you back. So it's a different kind of investment. A stock is you actually buy part of the company. In this case, you don't buy part of the company, you lend money, prestar, you lend money to the company or a government, and they pay you back later. And it's kind of complicated how it works, but I know it changes, like as the economy changes, the amount of money you get from bonds changes too. Usually, basically bonds are, I think they're supposed to be a lot of times safer investments than stocks. I mean, not always, but because like they promise they'll give you the money back. But on the other hand, you don't make as much money. With stocks, you can make a lot of money if the price goes up and you sell it, you make a lot of money quickly. And also, I mean, bonds can be, if you buy bonds in a bad company that goes bankrupt, then you don't get your money. So there's still some risk. There's still some risk, but it's another way to invest. Questions about that? Have you heard of that before, bonos? Just to invest? Okay, that's in economics. And then number three is, another meaning of bond is the way in which two things are joined. So definition one was people being connected. Number three is things are connected, especially in chemistry. We talk about bonds. So let's see. For definition two is often used for, in chemistry, it's in physics, it's connections between atoms. Atoms of different, sometimes the same element or different elements are like stuck together, like glued together. And the thing that the connection is called a bond. So definition two is used for connections between atoms in science. So like, for example, water has two hydrogen molecules that have bonds with oxygen molecule. So the bond is the connection between the molecules. They're connected. They're joined. Joined means connected. Another way to say connected. Or sorry, definition 3. That's definition 3. And whoops, I forgot to write a sentence with definition 2. Thought I was going to save time and not write my sentences in advance, but I think I should do it in advance. So we have definition 1, definition 3. So I'll write a sentence with definition 2 also. So we could say this is definition 1. Example. This is with definition 2. Or definition 3. This is definition 3. And then definition 2. I'll put it down here. We could say I bought U.S. government bonds as an investment to invest my money. And so in Spanish we have, just a second. In Spanish, you could say for the first meaning or the third meaning of vínculo or enlace, bono would be the second meaning. Word families, bond as a verb means to connect. So a bond is the connection, but you can also use it as an action, which means to connect. So we bond, you bond the atoms together, like they come together, it's the action. I don't actually know the chemical reaction, but chemical reactions create bonds. They bond things when they make them stick together. Plus, you can bond with a person when you make a connection with a person, like definition 1. Bonded, adjective means connected. Synonyms for bond would be connection, fastening, link, or attachment. I would say most of these could be, let's see, fastening is more like physical thing, like definition 3. Connection could be connection or link. All three of these could be with a person, but fastening is usually not with a person, it's usually something physically stuck together. All right, so thank you for filming and thank you for watching. Are there any questions? All right, thank you very much. Thanks for waiting.